What's up, everybody? Um, I had a lot of videos to make this week, so I just wasn't able to make the full card predictions. I'm gonna be honest, because I have to make another one soon later today. But um, yeah, I'm gonna do a live full card prediction this time. We'll see how it goes, because I'm not gonna be here this weekend for the live fight companion. What's up, Tehran? How's it going? I wasn't gonna be here for the live fight companion this weekend, so I figured I'll just do a live stream. Might be well, we'll see how this one goes. It's my first one doing for the full card prediction here. So I'm not this card's actually really good. I lied. I was gonna say I'm not too excited, but I actually am kind of excited for this card. It's a very nice card, at least in fight night purposes, or at least from what the UFC has been giving us. So I am kind of excited about. We'll see what happens though in these matchups. Earlier on, it is kind of a little rough, but you figure that's gonna happen with any UFC card at this point. But we have Jessica Rose Clark versus Tainara Lisboa. Lisboa is making her debut here. Fought a year ago against Consica. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and say that. Oliveira, Gloria. I'm not gonna say those. Jessica Rose Clark coming off of 2 armbar losses. I don't really trust her in this matchup or in any matchup. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm going to go with Lisboa on this one. Lisboa is 37% on Tapology. I trust her here. And it's women's MMA. It could easily go the other way. And she's only a plus 125 underdog. So I'm going to go with Lisboa by decision. Maybe even, actually, she might even get a sub here. Let's be real. 40% by sub. Either submission or decision for Lisboa. I'm not super excited about this matchup in general anyways, but we'll see. Let's see. Tony rumored to fight that young Brazilian killer at Boston August 19th. I hope it isn't true, but he's gonna destroy Ferguson. Yeah. What was it? You sent me Ismail Bonfim. That's gonna be brutal as hell if that fight actually does happen. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen, because that would not be fun to watch. But I'm assuming with all his legal stuff right now that he's probably dealing with the DUI and all that. Was it a DUI? Because I know he didn't take the what do you call it? The breathalyzer on, or whatever test they normally do now, when he was seen on site. So they probably did a blood test. I don't know if they actually found anything over the limit. It was a DUI. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be a little rough. So I don't know if that matchup even happens. Well, we'll see though, especially in August. We'll see what happens after that. He might want to take a little bit of time off after the DUI, or maybe Tony wants to fight again. The sad thing is I saw all the memes saying that it was the same day they got flatlined by Chandler. That was rough. But maybe it was like some like weird El Kakui anniversary that he just went out drinking at a club at 2 a.m. when his wife and kids were probably at home. I don't know. But Gabe Green versus Brian Battle. I'm gonna go with Brian Battle in this matchup. Brian Battle's last fight was against Hinat Bakradinov. I believe he was on short notice in this matchup too against Hinat. So it's a very bad matchup to have on short notice, especially because Hinat's a really good wrestler, and Brian Battle was just not really prepared for that. He did KO Takashi Sato in his welterweight debut, but Gabe Green, just coming off a loss to Ian Garry 7 months ago, beat Johan Lanes by KO a year ago, and then 2 years ago beat Philip Rowe. I'm going to go with Brian Battle. He is an underdog in this matchup, which I think is pretty interesting. I'm going to take Brian Battle by a decision. I don't think he KOs Gabe Green, but I think he just outpoints him to a decision in general. 29-28, that's what I got. Or 29-28, 30-27. We'll see what happens here. Let's see if Brian Battle can step it up a little bit more in this matchup. His last fight was 3 months ago, so I think he will be ready. He's easily able to make 170 on short notice, and I think he'll be prepared for this one. So I'm going to go Brian Battle by decision. Let's see in the chat. Yeah, they trolling Ferguson. Yeah, that sucks. The fact that it was the same day is wild as well. But oh, here we go. Yeon Kim versus Mandy Bohm. What an amazing fight. Let's hope they don't miss weight so this fight doesn't get taken off the card. Yeon Kim lost her last 4 fights. Lost to Molly McCann as well, which is not a great loss. Alexa Grasso obviously is a good loss at this point. Priscilla Cachoeira lost by decision, and then Jocelyn Edwards lost by split decision. Mandy Bohm, her last couple fights, lost to Victoria Leonardo. Oh Lord. Lost to Ariana Lipski. I'm gonna take Ian Kim in this one. You don't really lose to Victoria Leonardo. At least in her last 4 fights, you can kind of argue that they're decent fighters, except for Molly McCann. I mean, she's solid on the feet, but Ian Kim kind of scraps. I trust her in this matchup, kinda. I don't trust any of these lower level women's fighters, but we'll go Ian Kim by decision in this matchup. I'm gonna stay away from that one. Natan Levy versus Pete Rodriguez. I believe, when was this fight supposed to be originally scheduled? Let me check. I think it was just like a week or two ago. Song Simone card. So about 2 weeks ago, it was supposed to be scheduled on that Song Simone card. But yeah, Natan Levy versus Pete Rodriguez. I'm going to go with Pete Rodriguez in this matchup. Natan Levy is very hittable on the feet. Why did I say it like that? Very hittable on the feet. He throws a lot of kicks. And maybe he's going to be able to hit up Pete Rodriguez. But Pete Rodriguez, I believe when he did make his debut, was against Jack Della Maddalena and he got KO'd. So if there ever was a really good loss to have in the UFC, it is against Jack Della Maddalena. Only 26 years old as well. Destroyed Mike Jackson, which he should have done. And he should have looked like that against Mike Jackson. Absolutely destroyed him in that matchup. Natan Levy coming off a win over Gennaro Valdez. Beat Mike Breeden before then and lost to Hoffa Garcia. I think Pete Rodriguez, I think he's actually solid. He actually looked really good against Mike Jackson. Obviously, you're supposed to. But I think this is a very good underdog pick here. Natan Levy is very open on the feet, and I think Pete Rodriguez is going to be able to land some shots and eventually KO Natan Levy in like the second or third round in this matchup. So I'm going to go with Pete Rodriguez. I think that's another underdog I'm going to take on this card. I think there's going to be quite a few underdogs, especially in one of those arenas. This is in North Carolina, so we'll see what happens. Cody Stamann versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. I'm going to go with Cody Stamann. Douglas Silva de Andrade, he does have a lot of power in his hands, and he's pretty solid on the feet. 37 years old, almost 38. But Cody Stamann, 33 years old, in his prime, kind of, in the Luan Lacerda fight. I guess you kind of could argue that he might have lost it, but honestly, I'm going to go Cody Stamann. This might be a decent underdog for Silva de Andrade, but I think Stamann's going to use his wrestling a little bit more. You didn't really see it in his last fight against Luan Lacerda because Lacerda is really good off his back, really good submissions. And I think you kind of just want to stay away from that. I even said in my prediction, I'm like, dude, you got to keep the standing. Can't take him down. Because honestly, I could see Stamann getting caught in a choke. Same way he got caught in a choke against Saeed Nurmagomedov. He got submitted by guillotine shooting in for a takedown. Lost to Merab Dvalishvili. Lost to Jimmy Rivera. Last two fights were a win over Eddie Wineland, which he probably should beat Eddie Wineland. And then beat Luan Lacerda. So looked good. It looked decent in that matchup as well. I wouldn't say it was impressive, but held his own kind of on the feet. The Silva Andrade lost to Saeed Nurmagomedov. I believe that was on the feet as well. Sergey Morozov, he won. Gaetano Perello. Lerone Murphy. I'm not going to even try to say these names anymore. But yeah, I'm going to go Stamann by decision. I think he uses his wrestling, mixes in the takedowns. Silva de Andrade does have a chance to KO him here, but I can trust Cody Stamann a little bit more. He's a younger fighter. Even though De Silva Andrade is actually a solid fighter, I'm still going to stay with Stamann in this matchup. So we'll move on. Of the card, we have Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. I believe this one's being rescheduled as well. What fight was this one supposed to be on? It was supposed to be on the Pereira Adesanya 2 card, UFC 287. But I'm going to go with Carl Williams. I think my original predictions video, this one was made later, so I had to put it in, or someone asked me in the comments and I said Carl Williams, but I think Carl Williams wins this one. His last fight, I believe, his UFC debut, I'm sorry, he was on the Contender Series against Jimmy Lawson, but his UFC debut was against Lucas Bresky, which I thought Bresky was going to win that fight. He looked good against Martin Boudet, but Carl Williams went in there, mixed in the takedowns, looked really good in that matchup. Chase Sherman, last 5 fights, he's only won one of them. Beat Jared Vandeer, which I guess you're supposed to win, but lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta, lost to Alexander Romanov, which isn't bad, lost to Jake Collier, which is kind of iffy at this point, and then lost to Parker Porter, which is all right. Yeah, I'm going to go with Carl Williams. I think he mixes in the takedowns. He is a little bit younger in his fighting career, if you want to say it that way. Like he has more things to learn in his career in general. Chase Sherman, over 27 fights in general. Carl Williams, 8-1, still a lot to learn. Heavyweight as well. I won't say young because they're the same age, but he's definitely not the same hits on his body, at least, that Chase Sherman has. So I'm going to go with Carl Williams. Minus 420 favorite is very interesting. I don't know if I'd put it that way. Actually, let me pull up the Bovada odds right now. Off screen real quick because I don't want to show them my shit, but Bovada odds we have, because Tapology gets them basically right as the fights are made. Or not as the fights are made, but like the week of. So let me check something. What do we got? Okay, Douglas Silva de Andrade is now an underdog, by the way. But Carl Williams minus 425, Chase Sherman plus 315, which is very interesting. We'll see how that one goes. I'm going to go with Carl Williams, though. I am pretty confident in this one. I think he wins this one by decision, mixing in the takedowns and a stand-up for the win there. Matt Brown versus Court McGee. I'm going to go with Matt Brown in this one. I don't know. Matt Brown's 42 years old. Court McGee's 38. You kind of would trust the Court McGee more, but he just got flatlined by Jeremiah Wells 10 months ago. I think that was his first KO loss in his career. And Matt Brown scraps as well. Court McGee scraps. I think this one's going to be a really good fight, but I'm going to trust Matt Brown a little bit more in this one. I don't know how much I trust Court McGee in this. I'm going to take the underdog now? Well, let me see what the live odds, because obviously these are changing quite a bit. Let's see. Matt Brown versus Court McGee. Matt Brown's still plus 180 underdog. I'm going to go with Matt Brown in this one. I think he's going to get it done on the feet. Maybe third round, TKO possibly, over Court McGee. I think both of these guys are going to scrap, but Matt Brown's a vicious-ass dude. Lost to Brian Barbolina by split decision. Beat Diego Lima by KO. Lost to Carlos Condit by decision. Lost to Miguel Beza by KO. I'm going to go with Court McGee. I trust Matt Brown a little bit more here, and I think when it does get scrappy on the feet, I think he's going to look a little bit better. So I'm going to take another underdog at Matt Brown. We'll see how this one goes, honestly. But obviously, some of these more crowded arena fights, I think you'll see a lot more of these underdogs have a little bit more of a chance, weirdly enough, because arena kind of impacts a little bit of the fight sometimes. On the main card, we have Tim Means versus Alex Morono. I'm going to go with Alex Morono. Last fight, he stepped in on short notice against Santiago Ponzinibbio. Obviously, looked a little bit bigger. You could tell he'd stepped in on short notice, but was actually winning the fight till he got KO'd, I believe, in the third round, I want to say. Third round, 2 minutes and 29 seconds into that fight. He was winning that fight the first couple rounds, and I thought he was going to win the fight all the way in there, but Santiago Ponzinibbio came back in the third round and ended up KOing him. Before that, beat Matt Semmelsberger by decision. I actually predicted the underdog of that one. I'm proud of that pick a little bit more. Mickey Gall won by decision. He beat Mickey Gall by decision, beat David Zawada by decision, and then beat Cerrone by KO. So some decent wins on his record. Definitely comes in for the UFC quite a bit on short notice, but this one he's going to have a full training camp against Tim Means. Tim Means' last fight was a split decision, lost to Max Griffin, lost to Kevin Holland by Darce choke. So I'm going to go with Alex Morono. He is the younger fighter. Tim Means, 39 years old. Alex Morono, 32 years old. Full training camp. He is at a 3-inch reach disadvantage, but I do trust him to win this one. Morono by decision I really like. 18% by KO is very interesting. 3% by submission is very interesting. I'm going to go by decision, though. Alex Morono, 30-27 or 29-28 here. By a decision, win for him. We'll move on. Carlos Ulberg versus Ihor Potieria. I'm going to go with Ulberg here. I don't know how much I trust Potieria in this matchup. It really shouldn't have... I don't want to say it's close because he did end up winning by KO, but Shogun Rua did land some decent shots on Ihor Potieria before that fight ended, which kind of worries me a little bit. Lost to Nikolai Ngumirianu. Looked really tough in that matchup. I believe his mouthpiece at one point fell out and he just ate a bunch of knees and kind of just took it. So he's a tough dude. But I think Carlos Ulberg's very good. Lost to Kenny Nzechukwu. I can never say that name, by KO. Beat Fabio Charant right after that on a 3-fight win streak. Beat Tafon Nzechukwu. I can never say these names. I'm not going to even... I won't say I won't try, but like, it'll take me a while to get these names right. Nzechukwu. Tafon Nzechukwu. And then beat Nikolai Ngumirianu, who he just lost to. Kind of got beat pretty badly by as well. So I'm going to go with Carlos Ulberg. He beat Nikolai Ngumirianu by KO. Igor Pateria lost by KO to Nikolai Ngumurianu, so I'm going to go with Carlos Ulberg. I think he outstrikes him on the feet, wins this fight by KO in like the first or second round. So 87% by KO for the 91% that Ulberg did is getting chosen on Tapology. So I'm going to go with Carlos Ulberg in this matchup by KO. I think he beats up Igor Pateria pretty badly as well. Third fight on the card. I don't know if Tehran's going to like this pick. I don't know who he's going with. I know we talked about this one a little bit a while ago on a live stream, but you're not that big of a fan of Ian Garry. I'm going to go with Ian Garry in this matchup. Daniel Rodriguez versus Ian Garry. Ian Garry actually looked really good, especially after getting knocked down by Kenan Song, who had a pretty good performance right after that. And that was only 3 weeks ago, too, so he's trying to be active. We'll see what happens in this one. We'll see how that chin is doing. I didn't think he had a great chin in general because his head is very small on a very long body. And I figured that if someone connected with it, he would probably go down. But Kenan Song does have a lot of power. He recovered. You got D-Rod. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured you got D-Rod in this one. But I think Ian Garry had a very impressive performance after getting knocked down in that last fight. Beat Gabe Green by decision. Beat Darian Weeks by decision. Beat Jordan Williams by KO. I believe that was his UFC debut too. So looked pretty impressive in these last 3 fights besides the knockdown from Kenan Song. Wants to be active here. D-Rod, 36 years old. Last fight was a loss to Neil Magny, which I kind of question his fight IQ a little bit more there. I don't know what the hell he was doing in that one. Neil Magny's not necessarily bad, but I don't rate him very highly in general. Beat Li Jingliang. I thought Jingliang was supposed to win that matchup. I thought he did win that. Beat Kevin Lee. Obviously, he was off for a little bit after beating Kevin Lee to Li Jingliang. If I beat Almeida, you're a casual. Fair enough. Well, I think I'm going to pick Almeida, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with Ian Garry here. I think he outstrikes D-Rod in this matchup. I think he uses leg kicks. I think he sets it up top as well. I think he lands some really good strikes in the stand-up. So I trust Ian Garry to win this one by decision. 26% for Rodriguez, 74% for Garry here. I'm going to go Garry by decision. Let's see what we got. That last fight wasn't impressive by Garry. Dude leaves himself open. The right striker will crack the chin and put him down soon. Yeah, that's for sure. But like after that first round, he's really, I think, what was it, the left hand of Kenan Song? He's just dodging. He's doing a really good job staying out of reach of Kenan Song there. He's avoiding a lot of the powerful punches. But I do agree. I do think like a Jack Della Maddalena definitely puts him out cold for sure. Garry gonna lose soon. We'll see. I don't necessarily know. Let me pull this thing up. I just kind of want to look at the UFC rankings because he might get ranked after this fight if he does beat D-Rod. But I think D-Rod is number 15 still, I believe. Yeah, Daniel Rodriguez is 15, so he'll probably take his ranking if he does win. Jack Della obviously fighting Sean Brady. So yeah, he trains with Vicente Luque, so that fight probably won't happen. Do they make a Michelle Pereira fight eventually? I don't know. Yeah, it does kind of get a little interesting up top. Obviously, you have your Usman Colby. By the time he gets up there, they might be retired, let's be real. Yeah, your Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns. We'll see what happens with Gilbert Burns soon, if he retires at some point. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Yeah, in the top 5, the future top 5, I'll put it, where you'll have your Shavkat Rakhmonov, Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards probably still. Stephen Thompson versus Ian Garry would be a fun fight. Jeff Neal. He probably wouldn't. Doesn't Jeff Neal fight out of Killcliff? I don't remember. Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because Shavkat trains out of Killcliff and they just fought. I think Kevin Holland can beat Garry. We'll see how that one goes. I think he can definitely catch Ian Garry for sure, but I think that's a very interesting matchup. We'll see how he does against D-Rod before I get too much hype on him, but he already does have a little bit of hype. Obviously, after getting knocked down, is taken away a little bit more. But I'm gonna go with Ian Garry here. I think he outstrikes D-Rod. D-Rod plus 200. I don't know if I would even take an underdog of D-Rod, but we'll see what happens here. It is only 3 weeks after he got knocked down pretty badly, so. Let's see, Anthony Smith versus Johnny Walker. I'm going to go with Johnny Walker. I don't trust Anthony Smith. I'm going to be completely real. In that Magomed Ankalaev fight, he didn't really throw much. Obviously, it's Ankalaev, but he was kind of hyping himself up before that fight. If you were watching BYM, I thought it was the funniest thing ever. He's like, I don't know why he's like a minus 500 favorite. Like he's just questioning it. He's like very angry, and then he just gets beat very badly. Obviously, he hurt his foot, and that kind of ended the fight. But I didn't see the fight going differently than that. But after that, he was supposed to make weight as the backup against Hill versus Teixeira, I want to say. And I think he missed weight there, so it's not a very good look, especially for Anthony Smith recently. We'll see how this one goes. I'm going to go with Johnny Walker. I don't trust both of these guys. I'm going to be completely honest. Does seem like Anthony Smith is kind of on the other side of his career at this point. We'll see what happens, though. Johnny Walker, I don't trust him. He doesn't have a good chin at all, but I think he does do good on the feet here. I think he catches Anthony Smith maybe in the second or third round. I think he hurts him very badly and TKOs him. I'm gonna take Walker in this one. I think, is he an underdog? Oh, okay. These are slight favorites. Let me check the live odds right now. They're both minus 110, so this is pretty much a pick 'em. You're picking Smith. Walker leaves himself open to someone like Smith. We'll find that chin, yeah, for sure. It does take one shot to put down Walker. Let's be real. And Smith does train with Jamal Hill, I think. Does he still train with Jamal Hill? I know he trained with him for the Teixeira fight, but we'll see how this one goes. I don't trust Anthony Smith, and I don't trust Johnny Walker. But if Johnny Walker wins this one, I think we got to start trusting him a little bit more. But I'm gonna go with Johnny Walker here. 31 years old, looks good on the feet. I think he'll be good defensively with the takedowns if Anthony Smith does try to take him down here. I think he does win this fight, but Anthony Smith definitely does have a chance, a very good chance in this one. It is a pick 'em, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm going to go with the younger fighter here. Johnny Walker has looked a little bit more impressive in his fights. Anthony Smith versus Walker is definitely a pay-per-view worthy fight on main card. Yeah, that's for sure. I think they should have made this one. I think I was even saying in the last stream, I thought they were going to do that, but they put fucking Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill as the next week's main event, which is insane. But I thought this one either could have been this main event, or you could have done Anthony Smith versus Johnny Walker next week as that main event. But I think they kind of just want to stack this card a little bit more because it is in an arena, and they're like, screw the people in the Apex at this point. Angela Hill versus Mackenzie Dern, good luck. Because I'm not watching that shit. I don't even know who I'm going to go with that one. I think I'm going to go with Dern, but it is what it is. Main event, Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Jailton Almeida. I'm going to go with Jailton Almeida. So I guess... what did this guy say? Bananas and grapes? I guess I'm a casual then. But I'm going to go with Jailton Almeida. I don't trust Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I think I did an early prediction and breakdown for this one. That's a little bit more in-depth in this matchup. But I just don't trust Jairzinho Rozenstruik. He literally... in a lot of his fights, he kind of just... Especially... Well, I'm not talking about obviously, not the Dawkins one. Because Dawkins will pretty much just go out with any power puncher. Obviously, it is in heavyweight, but... he's getting beaten pretty badly by some of those power punchers. I kind of feel bad for him, but Rozenstruik is so hesitant on the feet. Let's see. Fuck the Apex. Yeah, I agree. I'm not watching that female main event either. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm happy I'm on vacation that I don't have to watch that shit. But Jairzinho Rozenstruik is pretty much just like, this is how he goes. Like, if there's an actual person to be scared of on the feet, and if let's just say if Jairzinho Rozenstruik does let his hands go and isn't hesitant on the feet, he could KO Jailton Almeida without a doubt, but I just don't trust him. He kind of just, he goes like this a little bit more, like he gets shaky. I don't know if he's just hesitant to throw and doesn't want to take any chances, but that's what he does in a lot of his fights. I think Jailton Almeida is going to go in for the takedown. I think it would be a very bad idea if Jailton Almeida tries to stand with Rozenstruik, because Rozenstruik does have some very good power in his hands. The odds for Rozenstruik at this point, plus 400. So Rozenstruik's a good underdog here, especially if he does decide to throw his hands. But I'm going to go with Almeida. First or second round TKO or submission. Again, Rozenstruik's a good underdog here because it is plus 400, which is pretty interesting. But the whole reason why he's probably plus 400 is because of Jailton Almeida. They don't want people putting money on Jailton Almeida because it might be some easy money, let's be real. But Jairzinho Rozenstruik, he just doesn't let his hands go. He did get dominated on the ground pretty badly against Curtis Blades. I think, oh yeah, he did lose by KO against Volkov. I didn't think he got taken down there, but did get pretty dominated. Did get dominated pretty badly on the ground by Curtis Blades. He just had no answers there. I think Jailton Almeida, a very strong dude, can take down Rozenstruik, control him on the ground, and he'll either win this one by pretty much ground and pound or submission at this point. That's pretty much what his fights have been at, I think. Let me check just statistics wise. 5 TKOs in the first round, 2 TKOs in the second round. His only loss was in one of his 2 losses was a TKO in the first round, but submissions, 8 subs in the first round, 3 subs in the second round. So first or second round submission or TKO is probably where you want to go at. Cerrone teased a move to bare knuckle. What was it, against Mike Perry, right? I don't like that for him. He is obviously sauced up, but I don't know. I think Mike Perry beats him up pretty badly. We'll see. It would be a fun fight for sure, but I think Mike Perry beats him up pretty badly. I kind of want to see Mike Perry versus Darren Till. I want to see what that fight looks like at bare knuckle. I think Till would kind of fold a little bit. I think he hits Mike Perry. He's like, oh shit, and he's just like, he's done. He like breaks his hand immediately on Mike Perry's head and just done. But I'm gonna go with, again, Jailton Almeida in this one. Rozenstruik's a good underdog because he does have the power in his hands. But if he does let his hands go, you'll be very happy if you did choose Rozenstruik in this one. So 88% by Tapology to choose Almeida in this one. By submission, 67%. We'll see. I don't want to commit to anything here. I don't think Cerrone's gonna do it. I don't think so either. I want to see Mike Perry back in the UFC. We'll see. I don't know how much money the UFC would fork out to Mike Perry. I think that's the issue there. I think Mike Perry, how much did he make? Did he make like 500K in his last matchup? Or was it like 250K or 500K? Let me see. Mike Perry. BK. Let's see. Pay. Okay. Mike Perry's the other fighter who will earn a big amount, as well as earnings were 200 to 250K. I don't think the UFC is paying that money. I'm just going to be real. Cerrone fought Perry back in 2018 and beat him. Yeah, I think Perry beats him, though. To be honest. Let's see. This is from April 28, 2023. So Perry's payout between 200K and 250K in the past. As for the upcoming fight, let's see. Let me just run through this one. BKFC salary. He's expected to take home a 500K payday. Yeah, the UFC is not going to pay 250K, 500K for Mike Perry. I think he's good at being the face of BKFC at this point, because he pretty much is the face of BKFC. He's making tons of money. Good for him. And he's winning these fights too. He's looking really good. So good for Mike Perry. I was really worried about him. I'm going to be completely honest, especially after all that shit where I think he like broke a window or a door in his house or something. He had to get an ambulance or something to come and get him. The poll that I put up, we got 67% for Rozenstruik, 33% for Almeida. Obviously 3 votes, but very interesting. We'll see. I think a lot of people are taking the underdog of Rozenstruik. I don't trust him, but he does have definitely a solid chance here if Almeida tries to stand and if he doesn't try to be hesitant in this matchup, if he lets his hands go. That Diego Lopez guy has some good power in his hands too. Yeah, he definitely did. He was landing some really good shots on Movsar. He actually cracked him in that first round. A lot of people forgot about that when they said Movsar won due to just laying on top of him. But he cracked him in that first round early on, and then got him in a pretty deep submission towards the end of that round as well. So very, very good fighter there. Again, I think I told you in DMs, I like that Bedoy guy. I think he's kind of going under the radar because of Diego Lopez. I think because Diego Lopez was on the main card, but the Bedoya guy arguably could have 30-27 Chaos Williams, which I'm really looking forward to this guy's next fight. He's kind of just laughing at Chaos Williams during that whole fight, like every time he tried to hit him. But yeah, he's a pretty good prospect. 2 really good prospects that came out of that card. I'm kind of excited that happened. Obviously, this fight is just a shit show. I hated that fight, but of course, honestly, best case scenario for that fight was for the UFC. Bilal Muhammad beat Gilbert Burns by decision and didn't actually look that impressive after Gilbert Burns fucking hurt his shoulder in the first round. Let's be real. I don't know if anyone's clamoring for Bilal Muhammad to win. Not win, but be in a title picture. But it will happen eventually, I guess. They really want Colby winning that fight against Leon. Or at least if Leon does beat Colby, he'll get the... Because Colby is somewhat of a star at this point with Masvidal and Diaz gone out of the UFC. You could probably put him in the top 7 at this point as someone who does draw somewhat of money. I think you could probably add some kind of star power to Leon if he does beat him. Diego fights like a character from EA Sports UFC. Yeah, he does kind of. He definitely does. But yeah, he had a pretty impressive performance. I don't know who he fights next. I think they kind of give him a layup. Because they kind of inadvertently made it a guy that a lot of people will pay attention to. So hopefully Diego Lopez can keep it up. How old is he? How old is Diego Lopez? Isn't he 30? He's an older guy. I don't want to say he's too old, but 21 and 6. Oh, he's 28. Okay. All right, so there's stuff to work with here. For sure. A lot of grappling matches. Very interesting. Yeah, definitely put on a pretty good performance. You arguably could have said he won that fight. I'm gonna be real, in that 3rd round where I think he had the, was it an armbar, a Kimura, and then he had the knee bar at the end. Could have said he won that 3rd round. See, Diego Lopez can match Max Holloway on the feet. Might even hurt him. I don't know. We'll see on that one. I think I need to probably rewatch that fight a little bit more, just to see there. Yeah, I'll rewatch that fight. I won't confirm or deny that, but we'll see on that one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, or the live stream at least. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of early prediction breakdown. What does the next UFC card look like? UFC. Okay, cool. UFC Fight Night. Hill versus Dern versus Hill. What does that fight look like? Peace out. See ya. See ya, Tehran. Oh boy. Shabazian, Hernandez, Fialho, Buckley. Okay. All right. I mean, this is all right. I'll run through it. It is what it is. But thank you guys for watching. Bunch of early prediction and breakdown videos are coming out. I know Aspinall versus Tybura was just confirmed, and then I can just make a bunch of other fights. So I hope a lot of videos are coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I won't be here this weekend or next weekend for the live streams for the fight companions. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my video tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be though.